HB. So I'm a little late, but I still wanted to say Happy Batman Day. All right, that's that. That's from me to you. Now, I wanted to do a video because a friend of mine told me, he's like, you should make more videos about comics. You're very passionate about it. You talk about it enough. You should do more of it on YouTube. So, in honor of this, I'm gonna recap some Batman comics that I like. Okay, not strictly Batman comics, but comics that I feel have great Batman moments. Now, first of all, you can't get into this really without bringing up the magnum opus of Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. Okay, there's the digital copies. That's them. That's Dark Knight Returns. It's just it's got to be mentioned. It's got to be mentioned. It's got to be brought up. It's the Batman comic. Favorite parts in that to me are just anytime he sounds bold and brash. It's a great story about an old man basically finding out that he's got more to live for. That's the shortest version of it I can give you. It's future Batman. He's over the hill, 60s or 70s. You know, it's past. Gotham is dystopian future, but also somehow the 80s. I'm not going to try and sell this to you. I shouldn't have to. It's The Dark Knight Returns. Get on it. Or if you don't want to read it, there's an excellent 2-part animated film about it. It's great. Okay. Secondly, one of my favorite. Whereas Dark Knight Returns, the one that's often hailed, is as the magnum opus of Batman, is great. This is where it all starts. Written by the same writer. Both of these are Frank Miller joints. This is Batman Year One. It's his first year on the job. Exactly, Batman Year One. A lot of cool little moments here. You know, it's very much Commissioner Gordon's story, and Batman comes in and out of it. There's a lot of sort of plays on. You know, it's very heavily inspired. Batman Begins. My favorite moment is where Batman calls a swarm of bats to rescue him from a SWAT team. Dude. Oh, that and the bit at the dinner table. Again, there's an animated adaptation of this. Hunt it out. So yeah, that's great. And the scene at the dinner table where he bursts in. Ah, you have eaten well. Now, going on after that, this is probably one that I go back to quite a lot because it's Batman in his prime, not Batman starting out, not Batman at the end of the line. Batman, Hush. Okay, written by Jeff Loeb, with art by the godly Jim Lee. It's to die for, dude. I mean, it takes place over about a year, 12 months or so. It's got his entire Rogues Gallery and Superman. You know, the Robins come into it. Nightwing comes in and out of it. It's a great story. It's about this mystery assailant that's manipulating Batman and Superman and the villains of Batman's Rogues Gallery. It's an all-star cast, effectively. It's great if you're like, I like Batman, I don't know how to get into comics. Hush is how you get into Batman comics, okay? Now, that's that. I would also recommend, this is JLA, this is the Justice League of America. In this series, this is the infamous story Tower of Babel. In this, Batman accidentally takes down the Justice League. I will expand on that by saying that a villain has taken Batman's plans where comics are comics, they're crazy, stuff happens. People get mind controlled, there are clones, there are alternate universe characters. Batman, being Batman, came up with a plan to not subdue them, not kill them, not wish them any harm, but incapacitate them. Those plans were manipulated by a bad guy. I will not spoil who. And that leads to what you can see, him standing over all these bodies and feeling super bad about it. It's a great story. I mean, there's a lot in this. It's not this is the 4th volume of Grant Morrison's JLA run, and there's a lot more into it than just this story. There's a brilliant bit where, if Superman doesn't get up and save the world, Batman's gonna follow him through the afterlife and shout at him. Effectively, is what he's saying. It's so good. It's pretty good. There's also a bit where he effectively cheats, involving it's kind of distasteful, but I'm on board with it, man. There's a scene where they go into the Joker's brain, and only Batman knows where they are. Everyone's like, because it's kind of weird how inertly close they are, but the comics are crazy. This is gorgeous. It's set in the late 90s, because it came out in the late 90s. Furthermore, based on what I'm seeing here, Tony Blair is the Prime Minister at the time, so that's that. Comics have been around for a while. Bit more up to date. Justice League Origins. Okay, this is the New 52 Justice League. It's a retelling, effectively, of, in the purest sense, of how the Justice League got together, banded together to fight the forces of evil. It was destiny and so on. This is life found a way. Excellent. It was, again, godly Jim Lee on art. This is written by Jeff Johns, who's, I've talked about Jeff Johns. If you've been following my channel, you should know that I know who Jeff Johns is, and you should now know who Jeff Johns is. He's excellent. The Batman in this is wary and distrustful of other superheroes and superhumans. He himself has no superpowers, but there's an excellent scene where he manages to take Green Lantern's ring off himself just by letting him talk. Okay, there's an excellent line. I don't see any buttons, so I'm guessing it works off concentration. You weren't concentrating. It's just, he overpowers him. It's nice. Green Lantern has all this bluster and brash and bravado, and Batman is not that. He's cool, he's calm, collected, and together it's like a buddy cop between those two. It's pretty freaking good. I would also recommend, whilst we're on the new 52, Death of the Family. In this, it's Scott Snyder's run is just great, but I think this is the jewel in the crown of it. It's a fantastic piece of work. Effectively, the Joker is just a horror movie villain at this point. Okay, he's ripped his face off. He's put it back on himself. He's shown up just to fuck with Batman, but also to teach him a lesson and say, listen, you surrounded yourself with this family, these little Robins and Nightwings and Batgirls and all of this. They're no good for you. Okay, you're better, stronger, smarter when you're on your own. And I'm your best friend, because the harder I push you, the harder you push back, the more you fight. That's what makes you the better man. And it's, there's a twisted logic to it, but it's great. And just, this exemplifies their relationship so well. There's a part towards the end where Bruce Wayne shows exactly how much he knows the Joker, and vice versa. And it's chilling, but I like it. I like it a lot. Furthermore, future Batman, Kingdom Come. Now, there's not a lot of Batman in Kingdom Come. It's mostly a Superman story. It's not a post-apocalyptic world, but it's a futuristic world where Superman is he's retired and he's being talked back into it. Batman has control over Gotham City through an army of robots after he was outed. He just lives in the Batcave now. Wayne Manor is done. It's donezo. Forget about it. And there's a wonderful moment where there's a lot of him getting in Superman's face, and a lot of Superman getting back in his face. I'm entertained by that. I would also recommend, whilst we're on the subject of Batman and Superman, not watching that movie. It's terrible. But also reading this. Now, this is an antidote to Batman v Superman. You can see that there. Let me just expand that. Sorry. This is embarrassing. Yeah, there we go. This is Batman Superman Public Enemies. It was written by Jeff Loeb. It came out around 2001. It's a great book. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of dynamic artwork. President Lex Luthor has declared Batman and Superman public enemy number one. There's a bounty on their heads. Every bad guy wants to come and get them. There's a lot of banter between the two. Again, not so much buddy cop, but just them going, there's a bit where they break into the Batcave and Alfred with a shotgun stops it. Superman's like, that's your defense. A butler with a shotgun. He's like, listen, dickhead, you have a dog with a cape defending the Fortress of Solitude. I'm not going to take this from you. It's fun. They have banter. Batman and Superman are having banter. Maybe I didn't give the best example of it, but they're having it, and it's kind of fun to see. I would also end on this. Now, anytime Batman shows up in the Marvel Universe or against a character from the Marvel Universe, it's fun just to watch him look down his nose at them. So these two characters here have a fight. Batman and Captain America have a fight in issue 2, and it's great. It's not very long-lasting, but it's cool, okay? Because Batman concedes that, listen, you could win, you could beat me, but it'll take all day. We don't have time for that. Captain America should win. Batman would win because he'd fight dirty. And it's nice to see those two go toe to toe. It's one of my favorite Batman moments because he detects everything's odd, he's not happy with it. Honorable mentions here, just quickly: Batman R.I.P., where effectively the devil, or the personification of Thomas Wayne, comes to take his son's soul, and Dark Claw, an amalgamation of Batman and Wolverine from the 90s. It's mad, hunt it out. And those are all my Batman thoughts. If you like this vid,